Hello everyone, VanguardOfValor here, and welcome back to another episode of FTL. So, today we're starting off a new run, yes indeed, and this is not really a mod run, although it does have a new mod involved, which we'll get to in a second. Today's run is going to be an attempt, finally, at the no pause run, which has been asked for some time. So to start this off, we're going to do something very important. We go into options here. We go into customize controls. We go to pause, which is somewhere here. There it is, pause. Now we're going to set this to something we're never going to click. Let's make it backspace. There we go. We have now turned the hotkey for pause onto something we are never likely to click, so even if we accidentally try that, we'll even turn off this one. Nothing is going to cause this game to pause. Is there anything else that'll make it pause? Not that I see here. We will leave that going. So, we now have no option of pausing the game without going way out of our way, so I can't accidentally do it. We're going to jump into the game here, pick ourselves a ship, and see what happens if we can make it through the entire game without ever having to pause. Now, I wasn't sure what ship I was going to be using for this, but I've decided that we're going to try using the Federation Cruiser Type B. Now, I like the Federation Cruiser, and I've used it a bunch, and the artillery beam it has is amazing. But the Type B is a ship that we never actually managed to beat the game with, because it was one of the early ships we did, and we actually wound up losing to the flagship. So this gives us a chance to come back and, you know, sort of vindicate that, and come back and recover, and make another victory there with a ship we previously lost with. And it gives us the chance to show off something really cool. You may notice there are little red bars here, and a little green light there. That's for our artillery beam. Yes, there's a mod here by Slowrider Xcore on the FTL forums who actually what am I trying to say here? Contacted me to let me know about this cool mod. It animates the artillery beam, which is pretty cool. I don't just mean the laser itself, it animates the actual whole thing. And I'll show you what I mean when we actually get started here. And I will have a link, of course, in the description below so you can check it out for yourself. But it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Anyhow, we're going to try using that, and we're also going to see if we can actually win with this thing, which will be interesting, without ever pausing. Let's see if we can do it. I've tried this several times before, but every time I have tried, I have been interrupted in some way, which means I've had to wind up pausing it, and that's kind of against the whole point. So, we're going to try again and see if we can actually get through the whole thing here with this fancy new mod on, and that should make it pretty interesting. So, we will see if we can do it. We have here on our team the VSS Impatience, never pausing for any reason. We have Hustle and Bustle, as well as Rush the Slug, which I imagine is the most inappropriately named slug. I imagine they're not the quickest of people, even though they have normal movement speed in actual game. Regardless, this should make for an interesting round. We have their artillery beam, which we'll be putting a lot of power into because it's pretty cool, and we'll hope we get some nice weapons to replace the Leto missiles, which are pretty darn terrible. However, this should make, like I said, for an interesting game. We are playing no pause run here with the Vindicator animated artillery beam mod on for new things here. Hopefully it makes for a good run. Let's get started. Alright, here we are. The data we carry is, of course, vital to the remaining Federation fleet. We'll need supplies for our journey, so we'll need to make sure we explore what we can before we move on, and we'll have to make sure we get away before the rebels can catch us. But we are going to be focusing heavily on our artillery beams. We might as well stick some power in there. We actually have enough power to stick in everything we need at the moment, so that's looking pretty good. We are going to send Bustle over to shields, I think, for now, and Rush over to weapons. I'd rather not have my Zoltan in my weapons if I can help it, because that messes up how the power works. And that's never quite as much fun. So, we have our things set up like we're going to try and use them here. Let's jump out of this nebula and see if we can't make any progress over this way. We do have a slug, so we can see where our enemies are if we are stuck in a nebula, but I'd still rather not have to. Here we arrive to find the number of ships convening around a station. We turn into their unencrypted communications and overhear half of their conversation. It seems they need to take possession of an enemy ship intact. Unfortunately, we don't have any weapons to do that. We can offer our services, but they're going to reject us because we're not properly equipped. Yes. Well, fine then. Solve your own problems, gentlemen. Let's jump over here to this nebula and see if we can't find any goodies over here. Not the best start to our adventure, but I'm sure we can recover somehow later on. And at the second jump, we find a pirate ship arrives shortly after us. Judging from the fact that they're trying to avoid our ship, we assume that they're a smuggler trying to stay away from the beacons, but that won't help them here. We're going to attack that pirate, and there's Zoltan crew, of course they are. We power up our weapons and move into engage. We have to use our dual lasers to try and take them out. They do have a pike beam and a single laser, or their basic laser. If they actually manage to fire those in sync ever, it will be quite dangerous, but otherwise we will be pretty much safe. So hopefully they don't manage it, and we'll be looking pretty happy here. As it stands, it's going to be pretty unlikely they get the first couple shots in sync, because the guns are pretty badly out of order. But it might happen if we get unlucky. So we're going to try our best here to knock out their Zoltan shield before our artillery beam fires for the first time. You can see it's over here. It's looking pretty red. Once that charges up, keep an eye right here and you'll see what I mean about the new animations, which are actually pretty cool. And there goes, ouch, the big laser. They actually got the pike beam 2 synchronized with everything else. Did 3 damage to our hull, not great. And we missed their weapons there. Hopefully this beam will go off. And there you go, see, it lights up and fires right down there. Very cool. Very cool. So we actually want to hit them in the weapons, please. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to do anything to these guys. There we go. Now they're going to, now they're going to run away. Awesome. Well, at least they can't actually hurt us at the moment, and the only thing that's really damaged now is our med bay, which is not the most important thing. We do need, however, to stop them from running away, so we're going to smack them in the weapons. Ooh, that's a high offer. They hail us, saying that their ship is no match for ours. If we let them go, they can make it worth our while, offering us 4 fuel, a drone part, 18 scrap, and a defense drone Mark II. For our first actual victory, this is an incredibly good offer. Yes, thank you. We will definitely accept that. Wow. Alright, those pirates were generous. Let's take their rewards and get moving, I guess. Turn the Lido back on. I'm not sure why that was off in the first place. I thought I had turned it on anyway. Oh well. Not that it really matters. Everyone here has full health still, which is fantastic, and once we get that repaired, we'll be able to go. But yeah, it's a pretty cool little just charge-up animation. Just adds a little bit to the whole appeal of the whole thing. Now, we are going to jump ahead. Let's jump it over this way. We'll go probably around the map. I don't actually know, maybe over this way. That'd be probably a pretty safe way to move over there. We don't want to run out of time before we get to the end, and we've jumped to a sun. Oh, goody. We arrive at the beacon and find ourselves dangerously close to a star. An automated rebel ship impervious to the heat moves in to engage. Well, that's fine. They got no shields. We'll smack them out in the weapons, hopefully, before they can hit us with too much, and then we should be looking pretty solid here. I could use a Lido missile, but these things are garbage, especially against people who have no shields. There's literally no point to using them. They did hit us here with a missile, but it didn't do too much damage, so I'm not too worried yet. Another dual laser should protect us. The thing is, if they knock out our shield before our solar flare happens, it'll do more damage to us, which would not be good. I'd love to be able to get out of here without that problem, but I'd be surprised if it will actually happen now, because there comes the solar flare already, and I accidentally just tried to pause there, and that's why we changed the hotkeys. Alright, let's let the air out of that fire room. Ship explodes, leaving behind a substantial collection of useful scrap material, getting 2 fuel, a missile, and 16 scrap. It's really hard to remember that you can't pause. It's such a deeply ingrained thing. Pausing to make sure you get the best opportunities. It's going to be very difficult for me to not do it, I think. And there's 2 stores here. That's not exactly ideal. We can sell off our drone there, so that'll give us a bit of money. I think it's 37 scrap. We'll have to wait and see what we get. Upon completing our jump here, we receive a message from a nearby ship which greets us and welcomes us to their beacon. For a small fee, they say they'll let us continue on our way, but we're not interested in paying their fees. We're going to reject their offer and just murder them. They say we'll regret the decision, but I'm not convinced. They have a defense drones, we can't rely on our Lido missiles, they have a bunch of lasers, which means we may actually regret our decision here, but I would be surprised if it's a serious issue this early in the game. They hit us twice already, that's not so good. But we did knock out their basic laser, meaning they have to rely on only the dual. They might have a repair drone in there, but it doesn't look like they do, because otherwise that would have been repaired by now, and their weapons are now offline. They hit us again! They're getting so lucky here. I guess we don't really have much dodge at this point, but ouch! Alright, we're going to make sure we hit them in the weapons again to make sure they don't bring anything back online anytime soon. Not that it really makes any difference, because their repair isn't interrupted by doing damage to the room, but it's fine. Doing a little bit of extra damage isn't really a problem, and now we can do what I was trying to do there, shoot the room again to make sure they can't... Oh, and missed. That's okay. Artillery beam comes in here, does a bunch of damage. We really want to knock out those dual lasers, though, again, because they're going to do us some serious hurt if we don't block them or dodge them or something. Please, miss. Oh, come on. We got beat up here again. Down 9 health already in the first, like, what, 4 jumps? Ship explodes, giving us 2 missiles, a drone part, and 13 scrap, which is pretty good, but we're doing pretty bad in other respects, so hopefully we'll be able to recover here a little bit. Let's jump up to this store, maybe, and see if we can't get any goodies over here. Alright. Is there anything interesting here we can get? I'd be surprised. We found a ship engineer who set up a small shop there, offering a drone control, teleporter, scrap recovery arm, yes please, long-range scanners, and stealth weapons. Interesting. Let's sell the defense drone for 37 scrap, like I suspected, buy the scrap recovery arm, which will give us a lot more money over time in this game. We could buy long-range scanners, we don't really need them. Stealth weapons would be interesting if we actually had stealth, but we can't get stealth on this ship because it is a Federation cruiser, and we don't really need these things right now because we can't afford them anyway. So we're not going to worry about that, and we'll jump back down. So that is pretty good. That should make us make a little bit more money, make this a very much more profitable venture, and we should be able to keep going from there. Now, we are going to run out of space here, so I think what we're going to do instead is we'll jump over this way and we'll circle around if we can. We might run out of space, or rather run out of time before we can make it all the way back through space, but we will do our best to make it back to the exit before we get stuck. And there's nothing here. We jump into an unremarkable system with no life signs detected within range. Well, that's no good. Let's keep moving. We gotta get all the way back around to the exit again before we find anything else. Hopefully we find other good stuff here. By the time we notice the rebel ship at the beacon, it's too late to avoid a fight, and that's fine by me, although they do have Artemis missiles, which are not great. That's not fine by me. Okay, we really need to boost up our dodge and boost up our shields soon, otherwise we're going to get pummeled. We're trying to Lido them in the missiles before they can shoot the Artemis, and they still managed to shoot it. We didn't manage to block it, and they still managed to hit us. Come on, guys. You have the worst ability to not get hit by things I've ever seen. Please knock out the Lido missile. Oh, no, you knocked out the Artemis, but not before after they shot it. And it hit us again. We're down 13 health already. This is abysmal. Abysmal. They already have the Artemis back online again. Please destroy that again. There we go. We really need to keep that thing offline, because that is what's going to cause us some serious hurt here. We've taken so much damage so far, it's not even funny. And I accidentally wasted a shot there against the weapons because they burned before I realized it. Now the ship is trying to run away, but unfortunately for them, this is going to more or less kill them. They try and surrender, offering us 2 fuel dumper and 8 scrap. That's pretty pitiful. We will not accept that surrender, and we will kill them directly. One more dual laser to the shield should take them out with no problems, as long as we don't miss, which we shouldn't because their helm was damaged. And there they go. Ship explodes, giving us 2 fuel drone part and 17 scrap, much more useful to us. We're going to use that scrap to upgrade some goodies. What we're going to do here first, I think, is just go for dodge maybe even, because we're having a hard time getting not hit by things. But the shields are also looking pretty delicious there, so let's upgrade those, and we will take an extra point in there, take a point out of the Lido missiles, because we're not going to really be using those unless we really need them, and then I can turn off something else to get them. Let's jump over here and see if we can actually make it back to the exit before we get overrun. Taking it risky here so far. We discover a nearby planet speckled with settlements, although none respond to our hails. We're getting unlucky here, seriously. Come on, game, how many times do you have to give me nothing? Alright, what do we got? Let's jump instead. Here we come across a pirate in hot pursuit of an unidentified ship. We receive a transmission from them asking us to stay out of the fight, and they'll make it worth our while. I'm not convinced. They have a laser, rather an ion weapon here, and a basic laser, possibly a burst laser Mark 1. If it's a burst laser Mark 1, they could still be dangerous. Let's fight them anyway. Let's attack the pirate and see what we can do. The pirate ship locks weapons. They do have a basic burst laser Mark 1. That means they can actually still hit us, which is a bit unfortunate. But we'll do our best to avoid any damage. We'll try and knock out their weapons quickly before they can do too much to us, and then we should be pretty much safe. Yes, we knocked out the basic laser before they actually managed to fire it. We could suffocate these guys, or we could just murder them. At the moment, I'm just leaning towards murdering them because it's nice and fun, and because they could actually hurt us. If we try and suffocate them, it might take a long time, and if we don't do it quickly, we risk taking a bunch of damage, and that's never fun. So I'm going to just take the easy route here and make sure these guys do not have an easy time repairing their weapons while we wait for the artillery beam to come in and fry them, and then we can take them out easily after that. Hopefully, anyway, that's the idea. Doing more damage slowly here is not actually taking it out, so this must be an NG repairing that bar faster than I can take them out. And we have blasted them through the oxygen, shields, weapons, and engines in a second. There we go. And they offer us a big bribe. 6 fuel, 6 missiles, and 11 scrap. Well, the missiles might be good later, the fuel might be good all of the time, and 11 scrap is not bad. So I think we'll accept the more generous bribe and let them live. This is a very unusual time. We're letting people live on a regular basis here. Hopefully they appreciate what we're doing for them, because normally this would never happen. So we're probably going to run a little bit of space here by the time we get back to the exit, but it looks like we have plenty of time to get there safely. Here we come across a rebel automated scout pursuing a civilian ship with weapons engaged. Let's aid those civilians because, hey, why not? We power up weapons and engage the automaton. They've got a burst laser Mark 2 and heavy laser Mark 1. That's why not. Okay then, let us try and kill them without losing all of our health. Alright, quickly power that down, turn up the dodge a little bit. That didn't work at all, and I really need to be hitting them with weapons now. I can't pause like I keep forgetting. Haha, awesome. Let's Lido missile them in the weapons. Please don't hit me again. Excellent, now they can't hit me. Now I can take my time, and it doesn't matter. We can Lido back off, turn on the engines, so we can hopefully dodge this incoming shot, get a little bit of training for our helmsman here. Hustle. Nope, it did not work at all. Hit them in the weapons, please. Prevent them from repairing them. Nope, you missed twice. That's okay. The artillery beam should kill them before you get a chance to shoot again. I do keep trying to pause here, which is a good thing we changed that hotkey, because I do it subconsciously. And, oh, the ship survived with 1 health because it didn't actually hit the shield room, but down they go as the dual lasers cut through. Ship breaks apart, giving us a fuel, 2 missiles, and 9 scrap, which is actually turned into slightly more because of our scrap recovery arm. No, it doesn't actually, it stays the same. And they respond, saying, "It's a good thing you came when you did. We'd be dead now otherwise. I'm a shipwright, and I'd like to help you like you helped me." The captain offers to install a piece of equipment on our ship, including 9 scrap and a breach missile. Well, we're probably not going to be using this anytime soon, but it's much better than the Lidos, so we have to swap them out, and that's something. The charge time on it, though, is quite a lot longer. Not exactly ideal at this stage of the game, but it could be fun later. Now, we are going to power up our engines as well, buy an extra power bar to stick in there. We probably should buy another power bar soon so we can actually run more weapons, but for the time being, we'll make do with what we got. Let us head over here to the exit using this distress beacon on the way, see if we can get anything good here. What do we got? We arrived to find a ship floating among some debris. "Hello," they say. "Our impulse drives are shot and we can't jump. Could you give us some fuel?" Of course we can. We have 20 fuel, got plenty from these people who have been surrendering to us. You can have 3, no problem. We give them the fuel, they give us an ion bomb. Well, thank the gods, we can finally get out of here. We're jumping straight home, so take this extra weapon. We won't need it, hopefully. An ion bomb could be an amazing addition to our ship, because that's a powerful, powerful ion weapon. Taking out 4 bars of power with 1 ion shot is pretty darn effective, especially when it teleports past their shields and other defenses. So, we're probably not going to ever use the Lido missile again, because we can use the ion bomb instead for better effect. Let us jump to the exit, I suppose. We're just about out of time anyway, so that works out quite nicely. What do we have over here? The game is just throwing items at us at the beginning here, but not exactly what we want. We've arrived at the long-range beacon. When the FTL drive is charged, we can jump to the next sector, and scanners here show intelligent life on a nearby planet. No match for them can be found in the database, so we decide to investigate ourselves. Thankfully, we have a slugman, which is part of the great thing about this ship here. We start with a slug, and we can use them to attempt to communicate telepathically with the brightly colored 6-legged horse-like animals we found in this enormous field. Let's try it. After a moment, our crew tells us that these are simple beings who enjoy a peaceful life. However, this isn't the first time a ship has landed here. They inform us of a nearby crash site. Excellent. We follow their directions and discover an ancient NG ship. We find a deactivated NG inside and reroute power from our shuttle to resuscitate it. After a while, it reboots, rebuilds itself, and offers to join our crew. Awesome. Interestingly enough, that gets you the crew member guaranteed, but does not actually get you any of the other goods I think you could find by finding the NG's ship. I think you could get scrap if you just find them normally, but this way just give us the NG. Not that that's really a problem, because I did really want a 4th crew member to power our engines, boosting our evade up by another 5%, which is excellent, but it's still strange. So that's that. We're doing a little bit better now. We have an extra crew member who will be good for getting more blue events, good for repairing damage, and good for running our engines, and things are looking pretty solid here. Let's jump on to Sector 2. We have 2 options here, Pirate-controlled sector or an uncharted nebula. There's no reason for us to go into the nebula right now. We're going to the Pirate-controlled sector. Bring it on, pirates! Let's see what you got for us.
Yar, matey. This somewhat isolated region was thrown into chaos at the start of the rebellion. Even in peacetime, it was always beset by pirates, but now it houses a center of operations for countless pirate fleets. Yar.
Anyhow, that's enough of that voice. Let's keep moving here. We got plenty of space to discover. We got a distress beacon right beside us. Let's jump to that out of this nebula, because that's always nice. And keep moving. What do we find here? We find a ship floating among some debris.
Again! Hello, they say. Our impulse drives are short and we can't jump. Could you give us some fuel?
Why, yes, of course we could. We'll give them 2 fuel, because we still have a good amount. And what do they give us in return? They give us 31 scrap. That's a nice reward, because it turns into 34 scrap here. Very, very nice. We can use that to buy ourselves an extra power bar again, so we can actually run our weapons, which would be a good idea. We can turn the ion bomb on in case we need it. And let's keep jumping. We have a store right next to us, which is good. We can sell off some of our junky weapons here. We'll probably sell the breach missiles now that we have an ion bomb instead, because that'll take up our missile slot anyway. Here we receive a wideband automated message. Welcome to our humble trade depot and shipyard. All are welcome, but try any funny business and our 152 automated turret satellites will tear your ship to shreds. Alright, well, we know that now. Oh, look at this, more augments. Lovely, lovely augments. Let's sell the breach missile. Let's sell the Lido missile. We'll try and make do without them. Might not have been the best decision, but I think it's going to be pretty good in the long run. And we could buy ourselves an automated reloader, which we absolutely will, because that's a great little tool. We could also afford to buy ourselves some repairs here, because we're pretty low and it's cheap here, but I think we'll hold off for now. Instead, we'll try and hold on to this money and see if we can't upgrade our engines again, get our dodge up a little bit higher, because otherwise we're going to keep getting pummeled by everything they shoot at us. So let's jump over this way and see if we can't make some more progress here. What do we got? They were just throwing stuff at us. What is this? We inform a nearby station of our flight from the rebels. They offer to outfit our ship with a weapon and wish us well, giving us 10 scrap and an ion blast. Well, thank you very much there, guys. An ion blast is another great weapon. We might use that instead of the ion bomb at this phase of the game, because they probably only have 1 shield, and this means we can fry right through them. Use the dual lasers in tandem, that'll work out great. We have 30 scrap, which we can use to power up the engines. Yes, the engines, but we can't actually power up the system quite yet. My goodness, my words are getting all messed up here. There's a store over there, which we're probably going to avoid. We might circle around, do something messy in here, but we can even come over here first and work our way back through that way. That might be good. Let's try this. Let's jump over this nebula beacon and see what we can find, and we'll work our way back around. Oh, good. It's not an ion storm, so that's helpful. There appear to be a number of small stations nearby. Before we have time to scan them, warnings go off. A rebel teleporter was used in one of the stations, and we've been boarded. Dun-dun! Oh my goodness, that's 4 boarders. Oh no! Okay, get in there. Let's get in there, guys. Get in there. This is going to be bad. This is going to be really bad. Okay, fight them. I can't pause. 4 boarders. This could be deadly. Alright, we need to turn on our medbay right now. These guys are going to need to get in there in a second. Oh man, this could be bad. Run. Run. Goodness. Okay, you run. Oh man, look at that Zoltan. He's so unhappy right now. These guys should be able to kill these ones off, and as long as these guys don't destroy more of our ship, we should be able to get back in the medbay in a second. Oh, nope, they've run off. Oh man, we're taking beatings in here. This could not be any worse. Okay, you guys get in there, repair the oxygen before we start suffocating. You guys get in here and heal yourselves so you're not immediately dead. We have to get into the engine room and block them from destroying it, except for the fact there's 4 of them in there, and we don't really have 4 people geared up for fighting, so they're going to do us some serious damage in a second. Let's get into the helm and fight them there. We'll send these guys into the oxygen, stop them from breaking that again. We should be able to kill them here. I wish I could pause. This is not fun. Ooh. It's stressful is what it is. We should probably send our NG Nicola over to the medbay and send in some reinforcements, but I think I might have to bail both of these guys in a second because they are taking a lot of damage. No, looks like they'll be able to handle it. Please take them out. Oh man, that was a mess. Wow, okay. Now time to repair things now that it's safe. Whew, boy. That's going to get stressful. Man, borders are going to be scary here on a no-pause run. That was stressful. Way harder than I thought it was going to be. Once these guys are healed, I can send them to go fix up the engines, and then I can send our Zoltan and Slug friend to the medbay to heal themselves up. Ugh, what a mess. Okay, send these guys back to the medbay. Whew. Okay. I'm getting a taste here for how hard this is going to be. It's hard in a different way than I'm used to, too, because typically this game is difficult because of the fact that you have to manage all the different enemies you're fighting and whatnot, but it's actually pretty easy to fight your borders because you can just pause and make sure you move people to the correct places at the correct times. But if this is the way it's going to be with not being able to pause, this could be significantly harder, especially dealing with borders. That's why I'm not worried about getting a teleporter, because that's going to be incredibly, incredibly dangerous. Not being able to manage where your actual people are on board the ship just sounds like a bad idea. So we are going to watch out for that. And we could jump over this distress beacon. That sounds like a good idea. See what they've got. We are quite low on hull, so we're probably going to want to buy some more of that soon. And hopefully we'll find people who give us free hull, but that's hard to say. The pirate here says, "Haha! I knew someone would fall into our dastardly trap!" It appears this distress beacon was nothing but a decoy for a pirate ambush. Well, we can't have any of that, can we? Let's ion blast them in the shields, and then dual laser them in the weapons. They should fire a little bit slower. And go. Excellent. Please knock out the Burst Laser Mark II. Good. Now they're not so dangerous. The Ion Blast should lock that shield down more or less. It won't keep it permanently down because it does recharge at exactly the right time. Oops. That's unfortunate. The system burned up right before I shot them. These people offer us again 6 fuel, drone part, and 12 scrap. But as much as good as the fuel would do us right now, I kind of want to get a bit more scrap here so we can get our engines powered up. So we're not going to accept that surrender for a silly, silly reason, and we're going to try and keep pummeling them here. Thankfully, the weapons are offline, so even though that Ion Blast did miss, we can take the shot here at their shields and try and do some direct damage there. Good. That should stop them from turning them back on for a while. Next shot's going in the helm, and it's either going to be that or the beam which kills them. Which is it? It is, in fact, the shot, I think. I'm not entirely sure. It was so close there at the end. Ship explodes, giving us 3 fuel, drone part, and 16 scrap, so it looks like it might have been better to take the extra fuel because it would have given us more money in the total value at the end, I think. But you know what? It's hard to really complain. We did get some pretty good stuff there. So, now what do we do? Well, now we jump forward again. We head over this way, I guess. We could go to that store if we make enough money. If they have cheap repairs, we could buy some there. I'd be wary of spending any money too early. We'll see. A small pirate ship messages us, saying, "That sure is a shiny ship you got there." We find a warning shot across their bow and they respond,
"Hey, no need for violence. It was just a comment."
And I'd like to fight them over that just because that would give us another opportunity to kill somebody, but it looks like that's not going to happen today, so we'll have to go in the less violent route. Let's jump over this way and see what we find over here. Hopefully there's something we can actually fight here. Oh, good! Once we arrive, our screen lights up with warnings. A nearby pirate has advanced hacking tools and have tried to shut down our engines. Our ship keeps them, our crew rather, keeps them barely operational, and we move in for the attack. They have an attack drone, otherwise they wouldn't be dangerous at all. Just tried to pause again. It's so hard to break the habit. I'm so used to being able to just pause whenever things are interesting and I want to analyze the situation, but it looks like that's not the case here anymore. If we can dodge their heavy lasers, we don't ever really stand a chance of taking damage, but the odds of that happening are kind of low. However, we have gotten through their defenses now, so we should be able to take them out pretty easily. The Ion Blast knocking out their shield allows us to take out their weapons, meaning they really can't hurt us. Taking out their drone as well will mean they have a hard time doing anything. It looks like they might have a repair drone in there, though, because it does have at least 3 layers in it, which is unfortunate for us, keeping them completely neutered. We are going to take another shot at the shields here to make them have some actual damage, and the artillery beam comes and fries them. Just a little change this mod, but it's a cute one. I like the look of the thing. With the pirate ship destroyed, our engines come back online. We salvage 3 fuel and 26 scrap, which is a really nice reward for only being in Sector 2. Plus, especially because we get an extra 2 scraps, which turns into 28. That's quite nice. What we could do here is buy an extra power bar for our engines, which is what we're definitely going to do. We're going to jump. I really don't want to go to the store yet. Really don't want to, but I might go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That'll probably take more than enough jumps to run out of space in the sector, and should be good for covering all the ground. So what do we got over here? A well-armed transport ship and a squadron of fighters in orbit nearby. We're wary of their trustworthiness, but beggars can't be choosers. They offer drones. We don't have a drone control yet, so that's no good. And cheap repairs. Good. Let's buy up to... There we go. Up to 2/3 hull. That's pretty good. And I guess I'll hold on to the rest of our stuff, because there's nothing we want to sell now. 10 scrap. That's fine. Let's jump over this way and work our way over to the exit, like I said. And we jumped into a sun! Fantastic. This beacon has been placed too close to a supergiant Class M star. The ship will gradually overheat until we get out of there or die, and a pirate ship, oblivious to the danger, moves in to engage us. Well, let's start ion blasting them in the shields and hopefully dual laser them in the weapons fast enough to take out that burst laser Mark II. And... yeah, go, 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 go. Please take it out before it fires. Nope, you did not take it out before it fires. We're going to take some damage here. Oh boy. Please miss us with one of those shots. Nope, it did not. So much for being a nice, healthy layer of shields. That's fine, though. There we go. Now their weapons are down. Now they can't hurt us. If only that had happened last time. Alright, we're pulling in a bit of fire here from the flare. Hopefully it doesn't damage anything important. And it only damaged our airlock room again. Fantastic. Let's dual laser these guys in the helm so they can't dodge anything else. Apparently they have fires in there. And they offer us a pretty hefty offer here. They surrender, saying, "Please don't kill us. We'll give you everything we have." Offering 7 missiles, a drone part, and 15 scrap. The missiles are pretty valuable. We might take them just for that. We don't use a whole lot of ion bombs here, obviously, right now, but they might become invaluable later. Hard to say. The 15 scrap's decent. It's probably going to be pretty comparable to what we get if we try and kill them, though, so let's just take the offer. 7 missiles will be valuable later, even if we just wind up selling them. And let's jump out of here before we get set on fire from that sun again. Because that's never fun. And what do we have over here now? What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? We find one of the rebels' autonomous scouts. The ship's AI wastes no time in engaging our ship, and neither do we. Alright, so Ion Blast, we're going to auto-fire that onto their shields with control, of course. That is a great skill to know. And we're going to try and dual laser them in the weapons and take out some of that firepower before that bomb launches. I don't know what it is, but I don't want it. Good. Now the bomb's offline, we're a little bit safer. No matter what that was, it probably wouldn't have been pleasant. Let's fire the dual lasers into the weapons again, take them completely offline. Fantastic. We just leveled up our weapon skill as well, which is great, meaning we fire a little bit faster. The faster we fire, the better, especially since we have that automated reloader. We should outspeed most of the enemies we fight now. Knocked out the helm as well, so now they can't dodge. The next salvo will not quite kill them, but it will put them pretty close. Do some damage to the shield, so hopefully they can't... Oh! Recovered it just the wrong second there, but the artillery beam comes in, cleans up the kill anyway. Nicely done. Ship explodes, giving us a missile, a drone part, and 25 scrap. That's pretty solid. Pretty solid indeed. And we can use that scrap to probably upgrade our artillery beam. We might want to upgrade our engines again, because we're not still at the 4, or rather 5 bars of engines, which are the hallmark of what is a good cheap level to get to. But it's hard to say, so we'll hold on to our money for now, I think, and we'll jump over this way, see if we can't get any more goodies on our way to the exit. Okie doke, what do we got here? The rebel ship moves to engage. We attempt an open communications, but realize the futility of that action when we see the ship is run by an AI. Well, those robots are back again. Thankfully, this one literally cannot hurt us, so we're going to ion blast them in the shields. They have a basic laser and a mini beam, so that can't get through 2 bars of shields and actually do damage. We're pretty much home free here. We're not going to even worry about taking out the weapons. That'll give our shield crew a little bit of time to level themselves up, and we can just pummel them here. We're going to next smack them in the engines, I guess, to even further reduce their ability to dodge us. And there we go. So, Nicola, how you doing there? Rush, yeah, these guys are doing pretty good. Rush is leveling up really fast. That's probably because we have the Ion Blast and the dual lasers, which shoot quite quickly. Bustle's doing a little bit of leveling up here. Hustle's doing okay. I'd love to see these guys dodge some more shots, and I could just sit here all day to level up my guys, but that's kind of boring. So let's just keep beating up on them. And there we go. The artillery beam comes in, takes them out. Good. Ship explodes, giving us a missile, a drone part, and 25 scrap. We're getting a little bit low on fuel now. A little bit low. Plenty of time to get more, but still getting a little low. We're going to jump here and then to the exit, I think, because otherwise the exit will be overrun, and that's no fun. Let's see what we can get here. What do we have? What do we have? What do we have? The only other ship at this beacon messages us saying,
"Finally, after months of waiting, someone has fallen into a trap."
Well, unfortunately for you, we're more than capable of dealing with your trap. You physically cannot hurt us. We might try the suffocation strategy this time, just for fun. Hit him in the oxygen. We'll turn off the artillery beam. There we go. Now we'll just let him suffocate. That's always fun, isn't it? Ah, yes. The joys of slowly suffocating very painfully. It's good. It's good. We can just literally sit here. But in the meantime, I'm going to talk to you about something pretty interesting I just recently discovered. It's been a long time since we've seen any updates to FTL, but one is in the works. There is currently a beta of a new update going on right now. If you go into your Steam options, you can opt into the beta via the right-click menu on the FTL game thing. It's a bit of a complicated thing. But if you can find it, it means you get access to the new beta system, and that's pretty interesting. There are a bunch of new changes that they're making. One of them, I'm very happy about, changes that you can retrieve crew from a room when teleporting them out, even if they're busy smacking on a door or walking. You don't have to have everybody be immobile, and that's amazing. I can't wait for that to happen. It does have a maximum of 4 people for a 4-person teleport. Actually, does it have a maximum of 4 people for any person kind of teleport? Apparently. You might be able to teleport 4 people out of a 2-person room that way, which would be pretty interesting. But I'm not sure about that one for sure. Very cool, though. It does mean that you can teleport people out of an area that is like you're hostile and you're trying to get out of. It makes it a lot easier to escape without having to panic and accidentally get your people stuck because you left one behind because he was trying to break down the door. All in all, though, very neat little update. I'm glad, looking forward to that one. What else is going on that's pretty interesting? If you're carrying the crystal pod, or crystal alien from the stasis pod, rather, from the rock homeworlds, in the rock homeworlds, my goodness, words. Okay, long story short here. If you have the crystal crew and you get to the rock homeworlds that you got out of a crystal stasis pod, not any other ones, not one you got from a crystal ship or what have you, then you actually get a beacon, a quest marker that tells you where the teleporter is to the crystal sector. Thank goodness! Why wasn't that in the game to begin with? But yeah, that'll be a nice upgrade. There are no more life signs remaining on the ship. We stripped of these materials, getting 2 fuel drone part and 29 scrap. Good. 29 scrap, 2 fuel drone part. Lovely. Suffocation is a great way to murder your enemies. Not a great way to go, though. But yeah, so those are 2 nice changes. I'll talk about some more when we find another pause. But we're about the end of the sector, so I'm going to talk about them next time. Let's see what's at the exit, though, and what we find. Anything good here? Looks like goodies. Looks like goodies. We've arrived at a long-range beacon. When the FTL drive is charged, we jump to the next sector and we find, goodies! A settlement still loyal to the Federation hails our ship. They've prepared a weapon to aid our escape from the rebels. 15 scrap and a burst laser Mark 1. Actually not as good as the dual lasers we have right here, but you know what? We'll take it anyway, because any weapons are good weapons. Especially because we have these great ion bombs as well, ion blasts. We're doing pretty good. And 127 scrap we have now. That's pretty amazing. I didn't remember having that a second ago. Maybe I'm just crazy. Alright, let's spend some of these goodies, because that's a ton of money. We could probably power up our engines and our artillery beam, because the faster the artillery beam is, the way more useful it becomes. At 40 seconds, it basically just becomes a finisher, but when it's down to 20 seconds, that thing is deadly. So, we could also power up weapons control to be able to fire more weapons simultaneously, but I think at the moment we want to survive, so boost up that. Survivability is key. There we go. Max our engines up to max them. Yes, boost our engines up to 5, and we'll buy our artillery beam upgrade in case we want it later. No, we'll hold on to the rest of our money. It's never good to spend more than you have in need of spending. Although I should also, it's hard to say though. I should really upgrade the doors because otherwise we're gonna get beat up a lot. Because we can't easily manipulate our crew members in a boarding action, it's good to be able to slow them down a little bit. So let's do that. Let's buy our doors just so that things don't happen really quickly when people board us, because that undoubtedly will happen otherwise. And I guess that's a good amount to hold on to for next time. Okay, we're looking pretty solid here. But yeah, I guess I could quickly go over some of the other little glitches that they've changed before we end this episode. A couple of the little things that have been changed in the new update means that, what are we trying to say here? Oh yeah, shields are gonna level up when they absorb hits rather than repairing hits, which is nice. What other little things are happening? You can't shoot drones like boarding drones. If they're in a ship, you can't hit them with lasers like we had happen in one of our earlier episodes. That won't happen anymore. If you kill the boss and then you explode after he's being killed, you still win. If you've destroyed the boss, it locks the game into a win state, so you can't lose for some silly reason like that. What else is going on? There was some other upgrades that were pretty interesting. I think that was pretty much the big one, though. You can't accidentally cut out of the victory screen by hitting a key. Only escape will do that. Is there anything else that's interesting? I don't think so. Most of the other things were pretty like bug fixes and whatnot. But yeah, there's some little interesting changes that I'm glad that will happen. So that will be nice to look forward to. Or you can jump into the beta version of it right now and try it out. We're not currently doing that. I only found out about it briefly, and I'm not super pumped to try it out right away. I will leave it for now, and I'll probably try it out next video, or rather next series. I'm quite happy leaving this one for now. But yeah, there's some interesting updates on the that are coming up. And thank you very much for watching, everyone. This has been VanguardOfValor playing some more FTL for you here on board the VSS Impatience with no pause challenge going on here. So far, we've done pretty well. I'm glad I rebound the key, though. Otherwise, I would have paused accidentally several times in that game. It's surprisingly difficult to do. Rather, to not do. Anyhow, like I said, if you like the episode, don't forget to like the episode. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.